Hi there, welcome back to Resin by Drew. Today I'm going to follow an idea, well it's not an idea, it's more of a replication if I'm totally honest. A couple of weeks ago, or a couple of months ago maybe now, I saw an idea on Louise Singleton's channel where she used this mould and she made fruit teas and they looked absolutely amazing. She put oranges and different sorts of fruits in them. So I've got some fruits and I'm going to try and replicate the idea. Now I've made a sheet, just a sheet of silicone, and I've cut out the shapes that I need just to cover the handles and the top. What I'm going to do is pour a little bit of resin into the top and into the handle so that it looks, if I can make it look like this, a glass cup. And then once I've done that part, I'll then add the fruits to the bottom and the colouring to the bottom and fill the rest up with clear. So hopefully this is going to work, but we will have to obviously wait and see. So I'm just going to mix a bit of resin up. I only need a little tiny bit, and I'm going to add the resin to the top there. I'm doing the tray as well. You can only see a little bit of the tray, I'm afraid. You can't see all of the tray, but you won't miss anything because I'm replicating exactly the same thing as I'm doing on the tray as I am on the coasters. So I've got the coasters in full view and then the tray's just off to one side, so you'll be able to see a little bit of that. So I'm just going to make a little bit of resin up just to do the top there and the handles, and that will be clear resin, and then I'll leave that to cure and then I'll come back and do the fruits underneath. So I'm just going to pause the video while I make my resin and I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, so I've mixed up my resin, but before I pour my resin, I'm just going to tell you how I made the silicone inserts, just in case you're interested. I literally got a baking tray, got my silicone, and poured the silicone into the baking tray. Then I got some cups and a tray that I'd already made, and I drew around them to get the shape that I wanted, and then I cut them out with a Stanley knife. So I'm hoping that they will stay in place and they will do the job that I want them to do. Now I don't want a lot of resin in place at this point. I just want a little bit, because I just want it to look like the top, so that it's clear, like the top of a glass would be, you know, if you were using a glass cup kind of thing. So I don't want it deep because I still need to put my heat resistant layer on top. So I don't want it deep at this point. I just want a little bit. I would have been better using a smaller cup, I think, to be honest. In fact, I know I would. I think I'm going to go and grab a smaller cup and decant my resin into that. Because I think that will make life easier. You know, one of the smaller ones with the pointy spouts. I just think that will make life easier. I won't be a sec. There we go. Hopefully that will give me more control over it now. The resin that I'm using for this part is Resin8 Coated Resin. It's a lovely resin to work with. The only downside is you do get some bubbles, but they can be taken care of with a little bit of TLC and a little bit of heat on them, so I'll just use my embossing tool when I'm finished pouring. I think I've made up way too much resin here, but never mind, because I can use it for something else. I've always got my druzy crystal or crystal druzy moulds on hand, ready for spare resin, so nothing ever goes to waste. I can't stand to waste resin. I think that's all the handles. Sorry, excuse my head. That's all the handles and the tops of the glasses done. So I'm just going to do the same with the tray. There we go. So hopefully these silicone inserts will stay in place to keep the resin where I want it to stay. I'll give that a few hours to cure up, and then I'll take the inserts out and I'll pour the colours and add the fruits into the middle. This one's not quite staying where I want it to stay. Let me see how much resin I've got left over. I'll pause the video here, and I'm going to fill up my Druzy Crystal. Is it Crystal Druzy or Druzy Crystal? Whichever way around it is anyway. I'm going to fill up those moulds with the spare that I've got left over. But I'm just going to put the heat gun on these to get rid of the bubbles first, or the embossing tool should I say. I prefer not to use the heat gun on them. I just prefer to use the embossing tool. So that's what I'm going to be using. So I'm just going to do that on here first, and then I'll pop these off to one side to cure, use up the rest of my resin, and then I'll be back in a couple of hours to do the next step. So I will see you soon. Bye for now. Hi and welcome back. These are the teacup coasters and the tray that I started yesterday. So I put the silicone moulds that I'd made in to try and keep I can't even think of the word. What do I use every single day? The resin in one place. It has seeped under the mould a little bit, so I might just trim that back, so that I'm starting with, I might be able to peel it back actually, because it is only a very, very thin seeping through, so I'm just going to trim that back a bit, I think. But yeah, put the silicone moulds in, so that I could put the what I want to appear like glass in at the top, but I am just going to trim the underspill. We usually have overspill, but today we've got underspill. I am going to trim the underspill away, and then once I've done that, I'll come back and I'll show you how I'm going to put the next layer in, and exactly the same on the tray as well, although the tray doesn't seem to have spilled as much underspill on the tray seems to have been a lot better, which is good news. I've only got a little tiny bit, so I'm just going to trim that away, and then as I say, I will be back to show you the next step. So I'll see you in a few minutes. Hey, so welcome back. I've trimmed the underspill that I had. I'm hoping that when I pour this next layer in, it doesn't go underneath the resin that I've already got in place now, but there is a chance that it might do. But I'm going to go ahead and put my fruits in. I'm putting orange in the tray, because the orange pieces that I've got are the largest, because I've got two different types of orange. So I'm putting orange in the tray. Just hoping it doesn't stick above, but I'll check that in a minute. I'm going for thinner pieces rather than thick pieces. Hoping they don't float too much, but I'm just going to put a thin layer of resin down, and then I can put a clear layer on top that'll then smooth all of the resin out. Let me just find my little packet of orange, and then I can put some smaller pieces in as well. The orange in my little packet looks very different. It looks much lighter. So I'll just put some, I'll do orange in one of my little cups, one of my coaster size ones. Looks more like lemon, doesn't it? But I wonder if I can, because I think I am going to do a lemon one, so I don't want them to look too similar. So I'm going to try and use the same pieces of orange, from the same packet, to do the orange one, because the orange one out of this packet does look very similar. They smell very nice. It looks too lemony for me, so I'm just going to change it up a little bit. Just wondering if that belongs in this piece or with this piece. Too big. Let me cut that in half. And then do that into quarters, and then I've got think I've done my orange though. Maybe I just want a little bit more in my coaster. Just cut into a quarter. I'll put a quarter into my coaster and I'll put another quarter into my tray mould. I'm just going to bend down to eye level to make sure that nothing's sticking up above the level of the coasters, which it doesn't seem to be. The level of the mould, sorry, not just the coasters, the tray mould as well, which it doesn't seem to be, so that seems okay. Just trim that. So I've done the orange, so I've got orange in the tray and I've got orange in one of my coasters. So I'm going to do lemon in one of them as well. I'll just open the packet of lemon. Like I say, they do smell very nice. I haven't even got the packet of lemon fully opened yet and I can smell it. These are just packets that I got from Amazon, but I will put the link in the description box below, as I do with everything else. Just struggling to open the packet. There we go. So this is the lemon. It does smell delicious. So we can see that some of the rind from the top. We get a bigger piece. Oh, doesn't matter that it's broke. I've just snapped that in half, but it doesn't matter because I can the resin will stick it back together, and even if it floats apart it doesn't matter because I need to put a smaller piece in as well. So that's that one. Then we're going to do a berry one. Now I've got strawberry, I've got raspberry and I've got blueberry, so I don't know whether to do, oh, I've not brought my blueberries. I think I'm going to do a strawberry one and a raspberry one and not do a lime one, because if I do a lime it looks like I've got too many that are all fruits with rinds on, if that makes sense. I think we'll do a strawberry one. Even the strawberries smell nice. They don't smell strawberry-ish, but they do smell nice. Just check out on eye level that they're not sticking up above the mould too much. That's okay. And then I think the last one can be raspberry. I'm not sure if these raspberries are going to stick up too much. Let me see if I can cut them without doing too much damage. If I can, then we can still do raspberry. I think we're okay. I think I can cut them without doing too much damage. It's just they're quite dry, so they're powdery, but they are cut in, so they're okay. I'm not sure if I want a little bit more orange in my tray mould. I'll have a look in a minute. Let's put a little bit more raspberry in, and then that's all the moulds filled. And just let me check the raspberry, make sure that's not that is quite above the level of the coaster, that one. I don't suppose it matters too much, it'll just give it a little bit of texture, but it's just going to seem strange that that's the only one above the level. What I think I might try and do, actually, let's see if it'll work, is to I've broken that one, so that one's not going to be above anymore. Is just file them down slightly with using an emery board. The only problem is they are so crumbly. That's just leaving crumbs. Maybe if I just do the worst ones. the worst offenders. There we go. So I think I want a little bit more orange in my tray. Just see if I can put another piece in. I want them without the rind being too thick. There we go. That just fills it up a little bit better. Not sure how much of the tray. Oh, you can see more of the tray than I thought, which is good. I'm glad about that. So now I'm going to mix up some resin. So I'm going to mix clear resin, and I'm going to add to it some alcohol inks. The colours will reflect the fruits that I've put in. So I'm going to do a pale red for the strawberry, an orange for the orange, a yellow for the lemon, and maybe a slightly darker red for the raspberry one. But let me mix up some clear resin first of all, and then I can start mixing the colours together. So I'll be back with you once I've mixed up some resin. I won't be a few minutes. Right, I'm back with my resin mixed up and my colours. So I'm going to use I'll do the orange last because that's what I need the most for. So I'm going to use Resin8 Sunflower for the lemon. So I'm just going to add a couple of drops. You have to excuse the state of my paper cups, but as you know, I do like to reuse them. So I'm just adding literally a couple of drops. It has gone very yellow, that actually. I'm just getting a stir stick. Just giving that a stir. I'm going to pour that into my lemon. I don't really want it to go over the top of the line that I've got where I've got my water in inverted commas at the top of my mould. But if it does, it does. There's nothing much I can do about it now. Ooh, a piece of lemon's floating away. Okay, so that's my lemon one done. So next I'm going to do my raspberry. So for that one I'm using Pinata Chilli Pepper. Just going to add a couple of drops again. Just wipe my stir stick and then I can use the same stir stick. It's difficult to see what this colour's actually like because I'm going to add a couple more drops. I think. It's difficult to see what the colour's like because I've used a cup that I've already used for red. I think that's okay. So I'm just going to pour that in slowly. Now I have got a few crumbs, but I don't mind a few crumbs in there because I think that just will add to the overall effect. Again, I don't really want the resin to go over the top of my water that I've got at the top of the cup, the coaster mould cup. I can't get my words out. Why do I have days where I can't get my words out? My words just come out, and I dread to think. Well, I know what I sound like because I edit the videos back, so I know I sound like a crazy lady that can't get her words out. But yeah, I just have days where I can't get my words out and everything comes out in a jumble. What I'm trying to say is I'm trying to keep this line of clear that I've got at the top that I did yesterday with the silicone mould. I'm trying to keep that clear so that it resembles the look of glass. Like the handle, it'll resemble the look of a clear glass cup. So that's the raspberry one done and the lemon one done. So I'm going to do the strawberry one now, and for the strawberry I'm going to use Resin8 pigment in Vampire, and I'm just going to add a couple of drops of this. I'm just going to give that a stir. Let me see, it might want to be a little bit darker than that. No, I think that's okay. No, I think I want it a little bit more red than that, so I'm just going to put another couple of drops in. I think the colour's running from my raspberries a little bit, but it doesn't matter because it will just add to the effect. And then my last one is going to be orange, for the orange tray and the orange in the cup. Now I've got a little tiny bit of yellow left, so I'm going to put that into my larger pot of resin that I've got, because it'll just mix up with the orange and just make it a slightly different colour of orange, but I'd rather do that than let it go to waste. So for the orange I'm using Resin8 in Clementine. I'm going to add a few drops and we'll see, we'll get a better idea what colour this is going to be, what sort of orange, because it's a clear cup of resin that I'm using this time. Whoops, splashing myself. Got enough clothes with resin on them already, I don't want any more. Right, okay, so that's okay for the orange. So I'm just going to pour the orange into the coaster cup. A little bit yellow, but it's okay. And the on the tray. Now I'll just do the tray. So I'm afraid a little bit will be off camera. All I'm doing is just pouring the orange resin into my tray mould. I think I guessed quite well on the amount of resin that I needed there, actually. And then my final layer will be my heat resistant clear layer that will go on top once this has cured up a little bit. Now I've got a little bit of that's escaping up here, so I'm just going to sweep this away, because as I said, I want to try and keep the layer at the top clear, and I've just overfilled my mould a little bit there. Let me take a little bit out. I think I might be better letting that resin set up a little bit that's escaping on the top, and then removing it, which won't take long because it's quite a warm day today. I think that'll be the easiest way, rather, because I'm just scooping it and it's coming straight back. So I have just overfilled it a little bit there. It's gone into my handle a little bit as well. But as you see, things don't always go to plan, things don't always go smoothly. Doesn't matter where you are on your resin journey, Doesn't matter how good you think someone else is or how well their projects turn out every time. I can guarantee you that does not happen. We all have mistakes. We all have things that go wrong for us. And it's just how we deal with it to try and rectify those mistakes, that's all. But I always believe that by showing the good, the bad and the ugly, it does give people faith that, yeah, they are on the right road and they will get better and things will start to go right for them, because I think sometimes it's so easy to become disheartened when you see things going right for someone else all the time, but I can guarantee it's not going right for them all the time. They just don't show the bits where it's not going right, so it just gives the illusion to you that it's going perfect for them all the time, but it really isn't. So I'm going to leave that to cure up a little bit, and then I'll peel that, or I'll scrape that bit of resin out. But I'm going to leave that one for now. But I think I've done quite well, because I think that's the only one that's spilled onto my cup, except for the handle on this raspberry one, which I'm probably going to be better doing the same thing, letting it cure up a little bit and then doing it. Otherwise it'll just keep seeping back in there. So that's that. So I'm going to stop recording for now, and I'm going to let these cure up a little bit, come back and sort out the excess that's spilled onto the top there. Just let me move my orange back into place, because my oranges have moved around a little because I've been messing with them, or at least messing with the tray. So that's that. So I will say bye for now, and I will be back soon with the next step. See you soon. Bye for now. Hi, welcome back. I'm going to do the top coat on these fruit tea coasters and tray now. I'm going to decant some of my resin into a smaller pot to give me more control for getting it into the handles on the coasters. Just because it makes it a bit easier. I've probably not made enough resin, but I had to start somewhere. Do put some in the handles. There we go. Just check that from eye level. That's fine. The orange one next to it. Put some into the handle to start with. Yeah, it just makes it much easier with these small jugs, because they're pointed and just gives a little bit more control, that's all. Check that one from eye level. That one's fine. Let's do the strawberries. Need to pour some more resin from my bigger container into the smaller one. Just check that from eye level. That one's fine. I'll do the raspberries. I have to excuse the noise in the background. I've got building work going on again outside. If you can hear any noise, I do apologise. I'm just going over the raspberries. Just check that one from eye level. The raspberries are just sticking up a fraction, so I'll just go over those one more time. That's quite domed on that one now. Just dome the strawberries a little bit more too. So that's the coasters done. Let's do the tray. Let's put some in the handle first of all. Actually, I'll put it near the handle because it should just float into the handle itself really. Resin is self-leveling, so it should find its own way into the handle. It saves me going in and getting overspill around the edges of it. It's just going in at the moment. Not sure if I'll have enough resin or not. I don't think I'll have quite enough at this point. I don't think I'll be out by very much, but I don't think I'm going to have quite enough. Probably need about another 50 mils. I'm not sure. No, I think I do need a little bit more. I'll just check it from eye level and then I'll be able to see how much more I need, if any. It's quite high in the handle, so if I can take a bit and move it around, we might not actually need any more. The handle's quite full at the moment. I don't want it quite so full, I don't think. I might get away with that without actually making any more resin there. I might just have enough. Let's grab out my little cup as well. Just might as well use everything. Don't like to waste anything. That's just given me the extra little bit that I needed. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. So I'm happy with that. I'm happy with the tray. I'm happy with the coasters. So I'm going to leave those to cure up now until tomorrow. And then tomorrow I shall be back to demold them and show you the results. Just clearing my edges a little bit on the raspberry one. It's got a little bit of overspill on the edges there. It is very domed though, the raspberry one. I had to dome it because the raspberries were sticking out a little bit. I've got a little bit of a bubble there. But I'm happy with those. I really like the look of them so far. So we'll see how they look when they come out of the moulds tomorrow. And then I think I'm going to put some decals on them. So I'll make the decals and get the decals on if I'm putting them on. And we'll see what the final product looks like. So I shall see you soon. Bye for now. Hi there, welcome back. I'm going to demold these coasters that I made yesterday with the fruit teas in. So I'll start off by demolding the lemon one first. I'll demold them all and then we'll have a look at them. Do the orange one next. Got a little bit of overspill on that one that I could just pull off there. Do the strawberries. And then finally the raspberries. I've got a little bit of overspill on the handle that I'll need to sort out on this one, but I knew I would have because I had to go quite deep to cover the raspberries because they were sticking up a little bit. I'll just move the mould to one side. We'll have a look at these and then we'll have a look at the tray. So that's the orange. Oh, that's not really helping very much, is it? The black card there. Let me get some white card. Probably have to use black and white. Let's see. That's the orange one with the oranges in. It has got a few little bubbles at the top, but I think because it's a drink, that kind of adds to the effect. So I'm quite happy with that. That's absolutely fine. So that's the orange one. That's the lemon one. It's a nice light lemon colour as well. I'm happy with that. There's the strawberry. And then the raspberry. As I say, I've got some overspill on the handle there that I need to deal with, so I'll do that with my deburrer and the Dremel if I need to. Again, I've got a few little bubbles, but they'll probably come off with the deburrer at the top there. I've got a few little bubbles around the raspberries, but I don't mind too much because it's a drink. It's acceptable to have a few bubbles in there. So I'm quite happy with those. I like those. I'm just going to put those to one side and we'll demold the tray and see what the tray looks like. I think I am going to put decals on them. I've certainly started making decals ready just in case I wanted to. So I think I am going to put some decals on them. But I'll see for definite once. I'll cut the decals out, pop them on without setting them and see what they look like and then take it from there. I think I am anyway, but we'll see. I might end up not putting them on, but we'll see. Oops, I'm just dropping everything everywhere. So that's the orange tray one. Let me put the white card underneath. You'll be able to see it better. Got a couple of bits of overspill that I need to deal with there, but that's fine. So I'm quite happy with those. I do like those. As I say, I'm going to make up some decals and see if I want to add the decals, and I'll take then once I'm finished, whether I add the decals or not, I'll take some still shots and I'll add the still shots to the end of the video, and I'll pop the video up for you to be able to see. So that's it. I will be back with another experiment soon and I'll see you soon. So bye for now. Hi, welcome back. I've got some decals ready to put on these this tray and these coasters now. So I'm going to show you putting the decals on. If you're not interested in this part, then fast forward and I won't know. So it's okay, it's absolutely fine, I'll never know. I'm just going to put the decals on. I'll show you how I do it. I've cut the decals out on my Silhouette Cameo. I've weeded them. I've put some double-sided, not double-sided, sorry, I've put some backing paper, some sticky backing paper on, and stuck the decals on so that they're the right way. And I'm just going to pop it onto my, the first one's going on my tray. So where shall we put it? Put it about the middle. So what I normally do is put it on there, press it down with my hand, give it a good press with my brayer, especially the little bits like the dots. And then I tend to peel it back. I tend to peel it so it's coming backwards on itself like this, because I find I get a better result. The letters stick better and they're less likely to come off on the sticky, that is. So there we go. So we've got put the kettle on. It solves all the problems. So that's the first one. I'll pop it on some white card, that might show it up better. So there we go, that's the first one. So I put the kettle on, it solves all the problems, which it does. Everyone always says, let's put the kettle on, or you go to somebody with a problem and the first thing they say is put the kettle on. Isn't it? It's true. It's always the same, especially where I come from in Yorkshire. I don't know about you. Right, so I've got one for orange tea. So I'm going to put one on orange tea. I've done it on a little curve to try and match the curve on the coasters. So let's try and get it in the right place. Again, I'm going to do it with my fingers. I'm going to do it with my brayer. And then I'm going to peel it back. If any of the letters don't come off, then I just stop and go back over them with my finger or the brayer, and then start peeling again. So I've got orange tea. I tend to save the sticky, but not sticky. Yeah, the sticky back plastic. Is it sticky back? Yeah, sticky back plastic, isn't it? It's what we used to use to back our books with. I tend to save those because I can usually get 1 or 2, sometimes 3 uses out of them, depending what I'm doing. So I do tend to save those and reuse them. So we've got strawberry tea. This one's a bigger one, so it'll fill a little bit more space. And I'm going to put an extra layer of resin on, a top coat of resin. It'll be another heat, I've already done a heat resistant layer, but I'll be doing another heat resistant layer just to seal these in, make them safe so that they can be cleaned without coming off. They could be used without the worry of them coming off. So there's my strawberry tea. And we'll do lemon tea. I find the brayer's a great help for pressing them down, helping to press the letters down. I do like using the brayer to do that. So there's the lemon tea, and the last one is the raspberry tea, which again is a large one like the strawberry tea. Let's just take it off. Not quite got it in the right place there, so I'll just start that bit again. There we go, I'll just do it with the brayer. There we go. Again, if you peel it back, I tend to peel it back straight back like that, and the letters stay put much better. So there we go, strawberry tea. So all of the decals are on now, so I just need to put a final coat of heat resistant resin on, and then they're all finished. So I'll do the heat resistant resin this afternoon. I will wait until that's fully cured. Then I will take some final pictures of them, and I'll put the pictures on with the video for you to see, and I hope you like them. I will be back with another experiment soon, so I shall see you shortly. Bye for now.